Sigeleli Africa, malupakanyisu kondolwayo, yiswa imithandazo yethu, Nkosi sigelela.
But in a moment, I'm going to take you to a place where some of the prisoners worked in. But just here is a jail, but a jail for only one man. He was kept in that house over there with the water tank to it. His name was Robben Island. He was kept here for 6 years. No one was allowed to talk to him. He was allowed to talk to no one. They simply feared him. So the government, the apartheid government, brought him to Robben Island and isolated him. He was kept here from 1963 till 1969. He was then diagnosed. They thought he had lung cancer. He was taken from Robben Island. He was then taken to a little town about 12 hours away from Cape Town. He was then placed under further house arrest, and that is where he died in 1978 at the age of 54. But 6 years of his life, he was kept confined to this area. No one was allowed to talk to him, and he was allowed to talk to no one. His name? Robben Island. Robben Island was his name. The cave was a toilet for the prisoners. They could escape the various conditions of prison life over here. But for 13 years, this is where they would have worked, excavating limestone for the roads on the island. A bit later on, you're going to go into the prison, and there the ex-prisoner will show you how the political leader was kept and how the other prisoners was kept. There is a difference between how they were kept and the political leaders. I try not to talk about it because the ex-prisoner, someone was locked up, will talk about prison experience, and I don't want to rob you from that. So I'm being very brief where the prison side of things are concerned. But there's a few more things I would like to show you.
Good afternoon. This photo in front of you, it is the photo of the former political prisoners. This was taken in 1991 April, and these are the very last prisoners to leave this prison. So from here, we'll be going straight to F section. F section is a communal cell section. Then from F section, we're visiting B section, and B section is a single cell section. That's where Mr. Nelson Mandela spent 18 years of peaceful sentence. Please, let's proceed to F section. This is the photo of the former political prisoners. But this was taken in 1995. It was the reunion of the former political prisoners. That's where the idea of turning this place into a museum came from prisoners. In 1997, this prison was turned into a museum. Let's get inside, please. Here we are now in F section, the communal cell section. It is consist of 4 communal cells. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. This was used as an office of the section warden, the section guard, the gentleman who was responsible for the whole of this section. This was our store. That's where we would store our cleaning material because as prisoners, we were responsible for cleaning the space ourselves. I spent the rest of my sentence in this section, in that cell down there. When I first came here in this section, I found that these cells were given names by prisoners who came before me. Ours was called runners. That's where I spent my sentence. Please follow me. Prisoners were sleeping on these types of mats. It was only in 1979 when the International Committee of the Red Cross provided all prisoners in this prison with beds. If you can imagine this cell, with 2 rows of beds stretching up to that floor, there will be a prisoner who will be sleeping up there, another prisoner who will be sleeping down there, so 2 prisoners occupy the bed. When I was in this prison, I was one of those prisoners who had to sleep up there. Initially it was scary for me to fall asleep there, eating less. I was home before that night. By the time I fall and get used to the party, I should always stand the other to go to sleep. When I look at that, it reminds me of the year in this prison. Mr. Nelson Mandela was sentenced to life imprisonment, also for sabotage. In the communal cell sections, we were fortunate to have our toilet inside the cell. This is the toilet for 40 prisoners with only 3 showers. But in the single cell sections, things were a bit tough there because toilets then are situated outside the cell.
Murena buluka sichaba sa Yesu ufedi sedintwali matwenye usibuluke sibuluke sichaba sa Yesu sichaba sa South Africa, South Africa. Ediblo fanonseyem, editipte fanonsye, woronsye vetrepet, vandiklase an.
How long did you spend here?
7 years.
7 years?
¿Por qué? Or because I'm trying to explain. But I don't know whether you understand my English.
Yes.
It started in 1979. I was only 19 years of age when I was a member of the Congress of South African Students. During those days, as black students in this country, we were fighting against that system of education, which was designed by Professor Aisen and Dr. Henry Verwoerd, those architects of apartheid. So basically, we were challenging the system of apartheid, of education of apartheid. So when we were protesting, the response from the regime was always negative because we were tear gassed, baton charged. We were terribly tortured, and some of our students were even killed during the process. Then it was clear to me at an early stage that fighting apartheid using only peaceful method of struggle, it was ineffective. That's why in 1981, when I was 21 years of age, I left this country. Through Swaziland, I was in Mozambique. From Mozambique straight to Angola. That's where I was trained militarily to come and participate in this country. From Angola back to Zambia. From Zambia to Botswana. I entered this country again from Botswana. I was operating in Soweto up until I was arrested in 1984 when I was 24 years of age. When I was arrested in Soweto, I was then taken straight to Protea police station in Soweto. That's where I was detained under Section 29, the Internal Security Act, where you were detained for not less than 6 months. To me, those 6 months in detention were like 100 years because in detention, life was very tough. In detention, you consider yourself as fortunate if you came out of that place still alive because so many activists were killed in detention. In detention, I was severely tortured, both physically and psychologically. It was really tough. You know, I cannot start to begin to tell you the types of torture I was subjected to whilst in detention. That's why, to me, those 6 months in detention were like 100 years. From Protea police station in Soweto, I was then taken to Day Proof prison in Johannesburg. My trial
It was in Johannesburg Magistrate Court. It was in court number 15, August 15, when I was sentenced to 7 years in prison under what they term as terrorism. On my charge sheet, charges were leaving this country illegal, entering this country again illegally, being a member of the unlawful, the ANC, the African National Congress, and its military wing, the spear of the nation, and operating in Angola, found in prison arms ammunition, furthering the aims of our military wing, I was then sentenced to their term in prison, 7 years in a nutshell. Those are the reasons why I was in this prison. I left this prison in 1991, started again here as a guide only in 2005. This is the end of our talk. In conclusion, though we suffered so much in this prison, but we bear no grudges. We pride ourselves with one of the best conditions in the whole world. I think in this country, we are blessed to have leaders like Mr. Nelson Mandela, who taught us about the need of reconciliation here in this country for the benefit of our children, the benefit of our country, and our whole nation. This is the end of our talk. I will show you a way out, and then you'll be free from my prison. I think.
Thank you.
Sounds a call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom.